Welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about things Scottish. Scottish Highland Games, not just any Scottish Highland Games, but the McMinnville Scottish Highland Games. And here with me today, I've got two fine lads to help tell you about it. Ray, maybe. Tony Schuldis, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Well, the games are in McMinnville, its second year.
Yes.
And tell us how this happened. It just kind of sprung on us last year, and now it's a thing. It's a real happening. How did it come to McMinnville?
Well, I was the athletic director and on the board of the Celtic Heritage Alliance that was putting on the Newport Celtic Festival and Highland Games. We folded that festival, and we were looking for a new home. So I was talking to a good friend of mine, Chris McLaren, who is now our board president, one day down in a restaurant in Salem, and we decided we needed to make a festival happen.
And you live in McMinnville.
Yes.
So let's bring it home, huh?
That's right.
All right, very good. So that's a big deal. I mean, first of all, you needed a place. How'd you get the location?
Well, we needed to find a location that could hold not only the athletics, but all the other events that happen in a festival. So we started looking at locations, and we found what we believe to be the perfect location at Linfield College.
Yeah, the commons there, it's beautiful. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better setting.
No, not at all. So the trees and everything else, it provides nice shade throughout the day, but yet you're not totally shaded, and it's great.
Now, you two are both amazing Highland Games athletes, but people that come to the games this year will not see you compete because you're the field director, right? Is that what you call
That's
it?
right,
Athletic director. You're in charge of the whole thing. And Tony, you are?
MC, I've got the microphone all day.
All right. Well, tell us about what's going to happen.
Well, we will have clans. So we're going to have roughly 20 some odd clans there representing the Celtic history, and people want to find out where they come from. We'll have books to research last names, be able to try and find your clan that you belong to. We're going to have lots of food vendors there, from traditional Celtic food, haggis, meat pies, to some of our local guys, Chris Durig and his apple pie fries and that kind of stuff as well.
So the haggis booth, is it called Dare to Eat Haggis?
It's Scottish meat pies is the name of the
Scottish meat pies. Okay.
Yes, and they do a very good job. They really do.
Uh-huh.
We'll have a haggis eating contest. People can sign up and compete in a haggis eating contest as well, which will be kind of fun.
So it starts Saturday, June
8th.
and then goes through Sunday, June 9th.
Yes,
So
we'll also have a free concert down on 3rd Street on Friday, June 7th. Over on Davis, right by the Oak and U.S. Bank.
Out in the street there.
Out there in the street.
Now, so that concert is put on by the Celtic Heritage
Yes.
Alliance.
Yes.
Very cool. Who's playing?
Guess Win will be the headline for the night. So
So a lot of fun.
yes, it'll be a great time.
Inside of an orange fence.
Yes.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
Alcohol monitors and food and drink.
Very good. That is cool. Great. We'll be setting up Friday,
Yes.
Yes.
and then we'll head over to the concert.
Right.
That's
All
right.
Very good. So Saturday morning, what people want to show up at what time?
9:00.
Start opens at 9. What's
Get
it
it.
cost to get in?
It's $15 at the gate, and if you buy right now, you can get tickets online for $12. If you go to maxscottishfest.com.
All right. That is great.
So we're going from 9 to 6 on Saturday and then 9 to 5 on Sunday.
Yes.
So Saturday, you show up. What's happening first?
Well, we'll have pipes playing people in. We've got 3 different pipe bands that are going to be playing throughout the weekend. Heavy athletics start off at 9:00, and we will be running heavy athletics all day long. Be serving morning cocktails at the beer garden as well, hot toddies and Irish coffees and that kind of stuff. Food vendors will be open, and the music will start about 10 a.m.
And merchant vendors will be there as well,
Yes.
selling Celtic trinkets and leathers
And kilts.
And kilts.
Kilts.
That's right.
You
You
get
bet.
your own kilt and
That's
find
right.
out what tartan you should buy.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Now you said music starts at 10
Music, I think the first act goes on at 10, if I remember.
on the stage there.
On the stage.
Right.
Music on and off the whole day.
All day
Yes.
long. Plus, we'll have some Celtic dancers on stage throughout the day as well. And yeah, that's pretty much covers the stage there. We got, like I said, we'll have all kinds of
right.
activities going on down there.
Now Saturday and Sunday you have different classes of athletes competing.
Yes.
Who's on Saturday?
Well, let's see if I can recall here. Well, the Titans will
What are
compete.
those? Who are those guys?
So the Titans
And
is
gals.
something that we created. Last year, we were looking for an A class, which is a the best of the men. And we didn't have a very big turnout. And so we adapted and pivoted. And we brought in an ex-professional thrower, a top A athlete, and a top Masters athlete, somebody who's over 40 years old. And the Masters throw a little lighter heavyweight, but we had them all throw the same weights, and we put them head to head. And it was a great competition throughout the day. So we're doing that again this year. We're adding another male Titan, and we've got 3 women Titans out of the mix. So we'll have 7 out there on the field. So that'll be Saturday.
That's a class that you've invented. That's unique to our games.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
That is very cool. So that attracts people from around. Hey, you want to come be a Titan, like the top of the top? And they go, yeah, I'll show for that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And,
A little
and
prestige.
it's something that most of these guys never get a chance to compete against each other. So it's kind of fun to let them go into a game and battle it out. So
Well done. Well thought out. This is great. All right, so Titans start out Saturday. At what
Yes.
time?
Well, the Titans will start a little later. They'll start at 10.
Okay, so you want to be there for that.
Yes, definitely. They'll do. They're most athletes when they compete, they'll compete one day only. So they'll start at 9 and can finish up around probably 3:34, potentially late as 5, depending on how fast they move. But the Titans, we've split up their events. Typically, we're doing 9 events. So with the Titans, we're doing 5 events on Saturday, and then 4 in a challenge event on Sunday.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Spread them out a little bit. Get people to come both days.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it. All right. So then there's what other classes are there? You don't have to remember exactly when they're on, but how do those classes break up?
So we've got classes that are by ability. So A being the best men, and then B being intermediate, and then C/novice being beginner. And then masters, people over 40. And then we have a men's lightweight as well, that men under 200 pounds. We could offer very similar for women, but we just don't have that many throwers. But we're offering a women's open class and a women's masters class. So.
Now there's an age group above the masters now this year, right? The 50 and up?
Oh, so yeah, masters it can be 40 and above, or if you have enough to compete a class, and that's a minimum of 3, then it's up to the athletic director to open up another class and present awards for the people in that class. And we have 3 50s, 50 and above athletes.
And what do you call in that class?
Legends.
Legend. I like that. That's the legend.
Survivors.
Yeah. Well, I think then there's the 60 above class. That's the survivors.
Yeah.
And in a few years, I'll be ready for the next class, and that's the fossils. Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah. I've been to 3 Masters Worlds Championships, and they go by 5-year increments. And there's been people in the 70s competing,
Yeah.
and 80s. So it's really fun to watch them out tussling it up.
So, strangely enough, I will be there on Sunday as a survivor novice.
yes.
Survivor novice. Yeah, you're jumping in the novice class with everybody else, and Ken has just really taken on the sport and
it's so fun.
committed himself and
With guys
and
like you.
Yeah, and having a great time.
Yeah.
You bet, putting everything into it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. All right, so I think any other highlights that we want to talk about on the field, in the booths?
We're going to take a short break from throwing at about noon, and we'll have the opening ceremonies at 12 o'clock.
On Saturday.
On Saturday
Okay.
and Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, both.
And it'll be the March of the Clans. So we'll have all the clans being led out by one of the pipe bands, and they'll have a March of the Clans through the grounds.
And they come across by the front of the stage and exclaim their clan motto. So it's quite fun to watch.
So Moore is my last name. Muir is the clan that I think I'm in. And will the Muir clan be there?
I don't recall
Don't
that
know
on the
that.
list.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll be maybe only one guy there. Well, let's talk about your clans.
Sure.
Scottish heritage.
Yes.
So you got into these games. Your dad put a 56-pound weight in your cradle, right, to play with.
Not exactly, but I grew up on the farm in South Dakota. So yeah, I got started by an old high school friend. Actually, they were in town competing, or actually they were competing with Ray and practicing with Ray, and they came to town for a practice, and they messaged me and said, "Hey, why don't you come check this out?"
Not long ago.
It's been 5 years now. So
5 years.
Yeah.
Practicing in town. An old high school friend.
yes,
Said, "Come on."
check it out. And that's all it took. I went and one practice, and then went and watched the Newport games and watched the Portland game. And at that point, I couldn't wait any longer. I had to get involved. So
And what was your first game?
Belfair, Washington, a little game called Hood Canal, up on the Olympic Peninsula.
So these games are all over the place.
Yes.
They're in Washington. They're over Oregon. There's Portland.
You could throw pretty much every weekend from April until September if you want to travel a little
And
bit.
not drive too far, right?
Yeah,
And not even
here in the
too far.
here in the Northwest.
And these things are big in the southeast, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
well,
There's
think
a-
about immigration and how it came through. So the East Coast has got tons of games, lots in Canada because a lot of Scots immigrated to Canada as well. And so, yeah, they're scattered all throughout the country and Canada and the world.
Well, I think we've talked about these games so much, but a lot of people go, yeah, I tell my friends I'm going to be in this Highland Games. Yeah, what event are you in? You know,
Yes.
and it, like they throw a log, right? And that's about it.
Right.
So I think maybe for folks that aren't familiar, we should start talking about the events. You guys brought some pictures
Yes.
Yes, right,
of the
right.
past games. So Carolyn, let's flip through some of that. Oh, okay, stop right there.
Ah.
We'll go to this. Well, the logo's been behind us, but here it is. Tell us about how this logo came to be.
Well, most festivals have a logo of some sort. And it may not look like a clan crest. So this is mimic after a clan crest. You can see the grapevines and leaves. Typically, that's a belt. You can kind of see the buckle above the grapes. And that's a belt with the tang of the belt hanging down in most clan crests. And so what we wanted to do was take that idea and bring it local. So obviously we have a big wine industry in the region. So we brought the wine industry in. Maybe you can help me remember what the high school mascot is.
Oh, here are the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So great. So now we've got a Celtic bear paw
Yes.
right in the middle of that.
So you've got the Native American the tribes in the area, and the high school, and the graves, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, most people when they see the bear paw, they're thinking a native, and actually the clan structure between the Scots and American natives is very similar, and so there's a lot of kinship there, and so we're happy to have it represent both.
That is a beautiful logo. Congratulations on that. That's just that's awesome. And you've got it. Well, we'll come back to a shot of your flask here in a minute. But Caroline, let's go on to. All right, there's some guys. Oh, and who's that?
Gretchen.
That is
Gretchen.
That's in the middle. That is our board minus one new member, and so I'm there with the beanie on, and to my, if you're looking at the picture to my right is Chris McLaren. The two of us masterminded the idea of having it happen here. So and we've got a great board that's supporting the games, and we're a working board. We just don't sit back at a desk and make decisions.
Yeah.
We roll up our sleeves and get involved in everything.
That is great. And you and.
Looks like Brianna and Charlie.
All right.
Some throwers that joined us not too long ago.
Very good.
So this is a few of our Titans, the three that competed last year, and they're holding up a caber. And that's not typically how we throw it. It's not a group event, and we don't do poses like that, ballet poses when we throw it either. But we have 9 events we compete, and it's like a decathlon. You have to compete in each event. You have to have a mark in at least each event. And caber is the trademark of the festival of most Highland Games, and it's our only accuracy event. Most of these are for distance or height.
Yeah.
But the caber is an accuracy event.
People don't understand that. They think it's how far you can throw a log.
Correct.
No, it's what?
It's accuracy. So if you look at the left of the caber, it's kind of got a pointy tip. Well, the caber will be tilted up to an athlete. They'll have to get down and get that caber into the pocket of their hands here, take it for a walk and then a run, and then try to flip it end over end directly away from them. So if it's in a line with their run,
So the top hits the ground. The place you were holding goes
further
points.
away. Right, that's a turn. And if it's directly in line with your run, and if you think of a clock facing the ground, a noon would be a perfect throw. And if it turns over and it's at 2 o'clock, then it would be a little less. But if it doesn't turn, what happens is typically you're graded on the angles between 0 and 90 degrees
That it got to.
that it got to.
Okay, so you get something for good effort.
Some games you do, not in McMinnville. It's turn, no turn.
Turn, okay. Well, let's go on with the picture, Caroline. All right, so here's a guy just
So
been handed a
here's Mark
caber.
Wechter, our Masters Titan, getting ready to pick the caber.
Everybody's
That's
cleared
how
the
it's in
area.
there. Yep.
We're going to jump around a bit. What do we got?
Sure. This is the Scottish Hammer. So that's John Oden, our ex-pro Titan. He's extremely flexible, as you can see him there bending sideways. The hammer, actually right here, we brought one with us, is a ball that's either 16 pounds or 22 pounds for a heavy. That's on the end of a 4-foot-long PVC or rattan handle, and you spin it around you and throw it behind you for distance. This, we believe, was the genesis of the Olympic hammer as well. The distances can go quite far. I think this is our 16, Tony.
Yeah.
And the world record for this is about 150 feet.
Oh my gosh.
So it can really fly.
All right. So when we see more pictures of that, we'll know what's going on.
Yep.
All right. What do we got? Oh, and here.
Oh, well, so we definitely like to interact with the crowd.
Yeah.
And we bring the weights out for folks to understand how heavy it is.
Yeah.
And this little fella had a great time. He's looking at his dad. So here's our Titan, Mark Wechter, doing weight over bar. So if you look at this beastie here, that's 56 pounds. The one that's flying in the air there on the photograph, if we bounce back to that, you can see it there just below the bar. Mm-hmm. That's also 56 pounds. And we throw that for increasing height over bar one-handed. And in this case, Mark used the spin technique to throw that weight.
Mm-hmm. We'll see some other pictures of a different technique here.
Yep.
All right. There's
so
the
here's
one.
John Oden doing a standing weight over bar.
Swing it
With the
between your
same
legs.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like a
then-
kettlebell swing.
Yeah.
Kettlebell swing, yeah. And pull it straight up and up.
Yeah. This is Scott Hutchison.
Looks like stones.
Yep, he's doing his open stone. So it's a shot like a shot put. We have two stones, a 16-pound open, which you can move and spin with, or a heavier stone, which is quite a beast, 22 to 26 pounds depending on the game, and that's a standing put. There's John just releasing the stone.
Beautiful.
I think that's Scott again. You can see the trig area that we throw out of. We have to stay within that chalked area when we throw. So we do have rules. And here's Charlie. This is a dedicated fan right
Yeah.
here. He is so supportive of the game and the festival that he got his own tattoo done.
Yeah.
Now, it's a slight variation of our crest,
Mhm.
but it's beautifully done.
Yeah. That is.
Very proud of him.
So he'll be at the games.
He will be at the games.
Throwing.
Yep.
Get to meet him.
He's one of our 50-plus masters.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Great guy. Now here we are just setting up, I think. That's Gretchen and Brianna. Yeah. Gretchen's on the board. And that's Tony's sister, believe it or
All
not.
right.
Took a little break from setting up and went down, and she freehanded that drawing at the we're down at Richie's place, Morning Thunder
Morning
for,
Thunder.
for
Very
breakfast.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of pictures to get through. Let's
We
kind
do,
of
yeah.
move through.
There's a weight for distance. So that's the lightweight of the version of this. This is 56 pounds. The one that Scott has there is 28 pounds. And you can generate a lot of force, especially Scott. He is a very dynamic thrower.
He is flying.
This is a fabulous photo. This is Roger Moon, and this is one of the events we call Sheaf. This is a height event. And you can see in his hands he's got a stick, but on the right side of that, it's a fork. It's a pitchfork. And we throw a burlap sack full of twine for increasing height over a bar. And he had threaded, I think, right between the crossbar and the top bar, which that was probably 32 feet.
That's an incredible
and
feat.
he's pretty happy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Wait for bar.
Hannah throwing weight for distance.
Yeah. I think that's Crystal. Yep. Our
Yep.
one of our Titans this year. She came in through and supported the games. She's an elite thrower. She actually gets invited and paid to be at games, and she's going to
Great.
come support the festival and be a Titan for us.
Wonderful.
There's our three Titans with
That's a good shot of the pitchfork and the sheaf.
Yep.
All right.
Now, yeah, here's Mark throwing the hammer. As you can see, there's a lot of force that gets
He's
put
got a
into
real
that.
tug of war going with that baby.
He does. When you get a weight that's on the end of a 4-foot stick,
Yeah.
rotating around, there's a lot of centrifugal force. And he's trying to control that so he can throw it for distance.
Yeah.
Here's Mark throwing this weight right here.
That 56.
In that picture is this weight.
Yeah.
And 56 pounds of fun. And you can see that Mark's straining quite vigorously there.
And those will
to
go
launch
how
that.
far? Mark throws how far?
I think if I'm thinking about the distance we threw, they were throwing in the 30-foot range.
Uh-huh.
And that's, some pros struggle to throw that weight,
Yeah.
36.
We call that 56-pound the Widowmaker for a reason. It is brutal. It'll beat you up.
No matter how big and strong it still handles you.
It does.
All right.
And then we, Carlton Cider Works sponsored last year and again this year a Keg for Height challenge event.
Yeah.
And so we will have a different keg because that keg suffered an injury.
Scott tore the handle off.
Yep. And we throw that in for increasing height up over bar as well.
Oh, that's really exciting. That's just kind of a local event you guys invented. It's not part of the Scottish Highland game.
Other games
there's
do
lots of-
keg events just for fun, and it's just another fun.
Okay.
event.
But it's not one of the 9 events that you score.
No.
This is just kind of
Extracurricular challenge event type
Yeah.
thing.
all right, bragging rights.
Now this is what we call wood levitation. We know that McMinnville had UFO sightings back in the 50s, I believe, right? But they didn't realize it was in the shape of a cigar. What we have here is John throwing the caber, and he's released it, and it's on its way to move over and hit the ground and flip over because he is a fabulous caber thrower.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, speaking of caber throwers, come back to us, would you, Caroline? We have here at the table, Caroline, there we are. Sitting here at the table is the U.S. caber champion. What year? A couple years ago?
I believe it was 2014.
2014.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
National caber champion, right here in McMinnville, head of the games, vice chair of the board.
Yeah, vice president of the board.
Yeah.
Right.
Congratulations. I wish I could have been there. Awesome.
It was a great time. I was down in a game in Pleasanton. It was the San Francisco Caledonian Games, and it's an invitational game. So you have to be invited to go. So it was an honor to go.
So they knew your name.
And we compete on a horse track, believe it or not. That's in front of grandstands that holds 5,000 people. And so throwing caber in front of 5,000 people is fantastic. And then to do as well as I did, to get a trophy and get an award there was quite something.
I'm glad you the pressure was good for you, evidently.
Yeah.
When I throw the caber, I hope nobody's looking.
Well, when you're out there competing, you zone out the crowd.
Okay. All right. That was my first games. We'll see what happens.
Uh-huh.
All right. Back to pictures. All right. Levitating caber, good. And that's letting go of just let go of the hammer.
Just letting go of the hammer. And right behind Scott there, smiling in that shirt there, is Jackie Silva. She's our scorer for the heavy athletics.
Uh-huh.
She volunteered last year, and she'll be back again this year. Happy to have her.
Great.
Oh, there's Scott just about ready to release. So,
Yep.
You can see how much leverage has to be put on that caber to turn it.
Yeah, that's a long way to get that over.
And you might notice on these photos, just credit where credit due, LV Camera Girl, Victoria Wechter, actually Mark's wife there throwing, came and supported the games and took these wonderful photos. So got to give credit where credit's due.
Well, guys, we've only got 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
There's a good shot of the stones.
Yes.
We've pretty much touched on all the events. There's 2 weights of stone, 2 weights of weight for distance on the chain.
Correct.
Spin around. There's 2 weights of hammer.
Yep.
There's 6 events.
Yep.
Then there's the sheaf
Yep.
over the bar, the weight over the bar, and the caber.
Caber.
And that's the 9.
Those
The
are
9 events. So I think people probably have a pretty good idea of what goes on there now.
Sure.
But so how these games come to be? Where did they come up with throwing a log? What do you think, Ray?
Well, the caber is really an anomaly. We haven't figured that one out.
Okay.
Most of the other events you can either tie towards getting ready for battle and keeping your men sharp and picking out the best of the best to support the clan, or you can think about moving the weights because these are based on the stone, and the stone was used to measure produce. So think about farmers coming to the market, have these weights sitting around. What do? Here, hold my mead. Watch this, and they throw something.
Yeah.
But the caber is an anomaly. How did that happen? So there's probably 3 theories out there that have some credibility. You're trying to ford a stream, so you're trying to throw a bridge. So knock it over the stream and walk across. You're trying to assault a castle, so you've got a log and it's got rungs cut in it, and you flip it up against the castle wall so you can climb the wall. The other is you're throwing logs into water to move them downstream. So we just don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Haggis.
Well,
Or you do know about it.
we do know that haggis. Yeah.
It was invented on a dare, right?
Yeah. Well, I like to say it's the world's first hot dog because
Okay.
it's parts, parts and parts.
Yeah.
But it's sheep parts and organs in a sheep's stomach with oats. And it's poor people's food. They're trying to make the most out of the animal that they could and feed their family. And then it became a Scottish favored meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody comes to these games. You don't have to be Scottish to be an athlete. You don't have to be Scottish to
No.
be on the board. It's just like, it's fun. A few of us, all three of us happen to be some Scottish, right? You've got Scottish
I do.
on mom and dad's side.
Dads were still chasing down, but mom on both sides of mom's family.
Almost. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so-
you have two clans that
Yes.
you can choose a couple of
So,
tartans.
The tartan I'm wearing today is my Duncan.
Well, let's stand up and show off our kilts here.
So this is the Duncan clan tartan. And then I also can wear the Boyd tartan as well, and my U.S. Marine Corps tartan. So the Boyd and the Duncan are on mom's side, and then I was in the Corps for a while, so therefore I wore that tartan as well.
Very good. I hope to see that sometime.
Yes.
It's a great tartan. Yeah.
And how about you, Ray?
This is a Clan McLaren.
Uh-huh.
And my family clan is Clan McLean of Dewart, but I've been adopted by Clan McLaren.
They want
and-
a champion in their clan. Right?
Actually, the fellow who got me started in this, his mom was the president of Clan McLaren.
Uh-huh.
And we were around the table down in Woodland, California after a game and having a pint. And he wanted to suggested to Barb, his mom, that the clans and the conveners, people in the clan tents, needed to have a greater bond. So she proposed that the clan sponsor me as a thrower. And in return, I would write articles for the clan paper about the heavy events and how they connect and about the games I've attended. And so we struck a bargain, and it was good for both of us.
All right. Well, my name's Moore. It was an easy connection to Muir. This is the Muir ancient tartan. There's a modern one. And also, did you spit in the bottle yet? We did, and sent off and found out we really did have some Scottish blood.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And, how about
Yes.
you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So by DNA analysis and
It's proven.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And Ray, you've got a dagger. What you got a couple of them on you. One
Well, I've got one. I've got a kilt pin here.
A kilt
and
pin.
That's just helps keep that flap down.
All right.
Flying around. And then I've got what's called a skin dew, which means dark knife. And when the Scots were disarmed by the English, they started to carry their knives
In
the
secret.
arm, and the dark knife. Hence the term dark knife.
Yeah.
But then at some point, it transitioned to carrying it in your hose, and so you have a small knife to carry in your hose, and if you're in full garb, you've got a dirk and a sword. But this was actually made by a good friend of mine in Alaska for me, and so I care for it and really like it.
All right. Well, there's a lot of heritage and a lot of fun here. And June 8th and 9th,
June 8th and 9th.
come down, meet these guys, and watch some great athletes do some great stuff and have some fun.
You bet.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.